On the 567th day of the war in Ukraine, the fighting was concentrated in these areas. On Bakhmut front, battles continue near Klishchiivka and Andriivka. Many sources confirmed the advances of the Ukrainian forces in both settlements, but on the other hand, some Russian sources reported about successful counterattacks in the direction of Klishchiivka. However, Ukrainian sources published footage to confirm that in fact the Russian counterattacks were failed attempts made by some small Russian groups to re-enter the grey areas in the northern part of the village. During the night, small groups of Russian soldiers tried to enter some of the buildings in the northern part of Klishchiivka, but as it appears from this footage published today by Ukrainian sources, Russian forces were detected by the Ukrainian drones, and shortly after the artillery hit the building where they were hiding, eliminating most of the Russian group. In another video posted in the early hours of the morning, another small group of Russian soldiers were seen trying to enter Klishchiivka, this time coming from their positions across the railway to the north of the village. This group was also immediately detected by the Ukrainian forces and became a target of the Ukrainian artillery, resulting in heavy casualties among the Russian soldiers. It seems that the Russian army is trying at all costs to maintain a presence in the northern part of Klishchiivka, regardless of the high price that the Russian forces are paying by staying in a very exposed area, which is completely under the control of the Ukrainian drones and artillery. It is clear that with these small-scale meat assaults, the Russian forces cannot fully take Klishchiivka or the heights to the west of the village, which are necessary for the control of the entire area east of the village. On the other hand, it seems that the Ukrainian forces are not in a hurry to advance, and in a way, they are inviting these attacks of the Russian forces to cause as much casualties as possible to the Russian army. Slowly but surely, the Klishchiivka-Andriivka sector has turned into a meat grinder of the Russian forces, not only due to the high casualties among the Russian soldiers, but also due to the many armored vehicles and tanks that Russians have lost during their efforts to take this area under their control. In this map, you can see the massive numbers of confirmed destroyed equipment of the Russian forces since the beginning of August. Today, Ukrainian forces said that they damaged or destroyed 2 more Russian tanks in the areas east of Klishchiivka. One of the tanks, the one you see on this video, is a T-90M, the best tank that the Russian army has in use. The tank was damaged or destroyed by an FPV kamikaze drone about 2 kilometers east of Klishchiivka. Today, in the early hours of the morning, the Ukrainian Air Force organized a massive attack on a Russian ship repair base in Sevastopol, Crimea. Sources from both sides informed that the attack was carried out using the British-made Storm Shadow cruise missiles, and as a result of the attack, the large Russian landing ship Minsk and the Rostov-on-Don submarine were badly damaged. Satellite images confirmed that both vessels sustained major damage. According to the Russian source Rybar, the attack was carried out by 5 Su-24M bombers equipped with 10 Storm Shadow missiles, which were reportedly launched from the northwestern shores of the Black Sea. Rybar reported that 7 of the missiles were destroyed by the Pantsir and S-400 systems of the Russian air defense, but 3 of the missiles managed to penetrate the Russian defense and hit their targets. According to the Russian source, a few hours later the Ukrainian forces made another attempt to strike other Russian warships of the Black Sea Fleet, this time using naval drones. However, the attack was stopped by the Russian fleet. Western media stated that this was one of the biggest attacks carried out by the Ukrainian forces against the Russian Black Sea Fleet. On the Zaporizhzhia front, battles continue in the Robotyne sector. During the last 24 hours, there have been no additional territorial changes, but Russian sources confirmed the advance of the Ukrainian forces east of Novoprokopivka, as well as inside the main trench line west of Verbove. Russian source Wargamzo reported that heavy battles are taking place on the outskirts of Novoprokopivka, while Ukrainian forces published videos of drone and artillery attacks over the eastern parts of the town. Wargamzo informs that the Russian forces are trying to push in the areas southwest of Robotyne, likely trying to cut the supply lines for the Ukrainian soldiers operating in the eastern part of the trench line located in the area between Robotyne and Novoprokopivka. On the other hand, Ukrainian sources published a video of a Russian BTR-82 armored vehicle being hit by a Ukrainian FPV kamikaze drone exactly in the direction mentioned by the Russian source, which could indicate that the Russian counterattacks have been stopped by the Ukrainian forces. Friends, if you like my daily updates, I kindly ask you to hit the like and subscribe buttons, as this will greatly help the channel to reach a wider audience. That's all for today's update. Thank you to my Patreon supporters, and have a great day.